Migration. It's a lot like menstruation. A steady flow is very manageable. Too heavy and it's not good for anyone, especially the whites. The number of migrants coming into Australia post-COVID, not to mention heart problems, are suspiciously high, like Arj Barker in every interview. In fact, I'm not sure what's higher right now, net migration to Australia or the amount of women Tommy Little has slept with. And both keep coming. Truly the Grand Wizard of Oz. And speaking of Grand Wizards, I know a lot of people are worried about racism, and obviously I appreciate that, but the country's infrastructure is not Tim Tsz's chin. There's a limit to what it can take. Migration is like getting smacked as a kid. The lower you are on the socioeconomic ladder, the more likely you are to feel it. If you're wealthy, migration is great. Get on a Hustlers podcast and talk about how you doubled your rental yield, aka your tenants' tears. But if you're working or middle class, migration is like Avril Lavigne's best song. It's complicated. Look, I've obviously benefited from migration and I'm very thankful for that. But when it's so high that the cost of living doubles and young people don't have money to see comedy shows, like putting my height on Bumble, that doesn't help me. The stances on immigration don't even make sense. If the right is pro-family, anti-LGBT and anti-tax, that's basically every immigrant. Ethnics make Sky News look like Drag Queen Story Hour. If Paul Murray settled down on the beers, and he clearly needs to, with that facial hair, he's basically a Wahhabi Islamist. And if the left is pro-abortion, pro-LGBT and anti-religion, maybe, like Terence Crawford, they should switch stances.
Everyone's talking about immigration right now. It's your favourite type of immigrant? Because you're British, right? So you're technically an immigrant. So actually, I'm more Australian than you. Cunt? No.
Look, no one is saying migration should stop, unlike the project. I just think the conversation around migration is like a toilet seat in Japan, heated and not broad enough. If you label any criticism of migration as racist, it doesn't stop racism. Like being a doormat, it builds up resentment and increases racism. I mean, comment sections are starting to look like the boys' group chat. Recently, someone told me to go back to where I came from. I turned around, it was an Aboriginal woman. How do I get around that intersection of intersectionality? I mean, look, I get it. She's probably mad because the only voice Australia unanimously wanted was John Farnham's. If you can, come see me live. I've got a brand new show touring around the country in October and November. Let me know your honest thoughts about migration in the comments. Like an old man in a changing room, get it all out there.
Who have we got here? Do we have any Asian immigrants? I went to the casino. You know, like you go to the high roller table in the casino now. It's all just cashed up Chinese. They probably don't even bet with money. They just bet with Sydney real estate. Hey, just...